Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 6th grade concept of graphing on the coordinate plane. This is standard 6.11a in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 37 of the 2021 released STAAR test. If you have not done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and then we will look at our answers together. Now you might think I spoke incorrectly because I said we're graphing on the coordinate plane, yet there's no graph. Well, in this particular problem, we have to create our own. So take a look. We have point Q. They give us the coordinates, the negative 9.73 and the negative 3.32. For which quadrant is that in? There are 4 quadrants. And so let's do this. Let's draw a coordinate plane here. And we will figure out which quadrant is which and where this point Q would go. So here is our origin. So I'm going to label this right here. There's our 0, 0 right there in the middle. And this is our x-axis. So that moves us left and right. And so I'll just put a random number out here. So as we move to the right of the origin, our x-axis is positive. As we move to the left of the origin, our x-axis becomes negative. So that is something that we are very familiar with. And then when we move up and down, we have our y-axis. And as we move up the y-axis, we have positive numbers. As we move down the y-axis, we have negative numbers. So if I were to put a dot right here, I would have positive x and positive y, so that would be 10, 10. If I were to put a dot over here to the left, I would have a positive y, but now my x would be negative because I am to the left of the origin. If I were to go down here to the bottom left-hand corner, both my x and my y would be negative because I'm to the left of the origin and I'm also below the origin. And then if I were to go over here to the bottom right-hand corner, I would have a positive x because I am at least to the right of the origin, but I'm well below it. That gives me a negative y. So how can we remember which one is quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4? Don't know why they didn't give us these particular quadrants in order, so just notice that they did switch up the order a little bit. That's a little bit confusing. Well, here's one thing to remember is where did we start when we started graphing in 5th grade? Because everything starts from there. And we started right here in this quadrant right here. So remember when we first started graphing in 5th grade, it kind of looked like this. Everything was positive, and we had numbers over here. And we didn't really worry about it too much. We just had to figure out what the coordinate plane looked like. So in the 5th grade, we started right here, and everything was positive, and we tried to graph just like this. And our only point was the getting to know the x and the y-axis. So this lands right here. So this is where we're starting. So this is going to be quadrant 1. That's our starting point. And everything starts from there because that's where we started learning about the coordinate plane. Now, let me draw a little tiny graph right here. I want you to think of how you form the letter C. You start at the top right, and you move down. All you have to do is remember that letter C. I'll do it one more time. Start at the top right, and you move down to the left, and then back to the right. That's how we put these quadrants in here. Quadrant 2, quadrant 3. We're using Roman numerals, so this is quadrant 4. That makes that C right there. So you have to know where you start. Remember the letter C. And so we have this negative, negative. That means it's going to be down here in quadrant 3.